It's just like Goebbels did during the Third Reich. It's the same thing, right out of that same playbook. Okay, and DeSantis did not say anything about it.
This is a video from, I think, about 2 years ago. It is The View. We're doing The View. It's a Monday, real quick. I think it's our only clip of The View today. Joy Behar talking about a Turning Point USA, saying that Charlie invited neo-Nazis there. Watch this, and then I'll explain how profoundly absurd this is.
They were out there. Neo-Nazis were in the front of out there in front of the conference with anti-Semitic slurs, and you know, the Nazi swastika and a picture of a so-called Jewish person with exaggerated features, just like Goebbels did during the Third Reich. It's the same thing, right out of that same playbook. Okay, and DeSantis did not say anything about it. Nothing. So it's his sort of his rendition of good people on both sides. Same idea.
So you have to read this thing.
Oh, I've got a legal note. The conservative group.
Sonny normally does this, but
I know.
Yes.
This is our knockoff lawyer.
Okay.
The conservative group Turning Point USA has condemned the group of neo-Nazis and said they have nothing to do with the organization.
Yeah, but where was DeSantis is what I want to know.
But you let them in.
President, open your
You let them in and you knew what they were.
Right.
So you are complicit. I want to make a quick clarification about the neo-Nazis at the Turning Point event. They were outside protesters. My point was more metaphorical, that you embraced them at your thing, I felt. So they were not in the building.
They felt
but you know what?
Okay.
You know what? If the so-called Antifa, who are anti-fascist, that's what Antifa stands for, would go there and protest, then Antifa would get a bad reputation. That's why when I hear that Antifa is...
right, but that's not... But let me just make sure that everybody... Because, you know, misunderstanding what people say is very big.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure you... I know they were not in the building, but they were in the mix of people at the thing.
Joy. Okay. She goes on and on there. She said they showed up out there. The implication is that they showed up, and she muddled her words as she said it. The implication being that, oh, neo-Nazis showed up to a Turning Point event. Except they weren't allowed in. They were not brought on stage as speakers. Were there people with swastikas and bad caricatures of people and who probably have, you know, all sorts of odious views outside protesting? This is the irony. They were protesting Charlie, and they were protesting Turning Point because he was not allowing them in the movement. A few years ago, when I was still doing events for Turning Point, I just haven't over the last couple of years because life changed and got busy, and I just don't travel as much as I used to for these like one-off gigs. But when I was doing a lot of the college events for Turning Point, there was a period where the neo-Nazi contingent, they were sending people to our Turning Point events. I would always do the same thing Charlie did, which was you invite them to argue with me first, which once you do that, most of them kind of just scour into the shadows. But the point is, they were not part of Turning Point. They were going to Turning Point events to attack Turning Point. Joyless.